My sister recently met and married a man serving a life sentence for first-degree murder. She met him while he was incarcerated.
Where? Is that like a special swipe right account? How do you do that?
No, he's like locally incarcerated from our area, and I guess they just knew somebody mutually, and her friend set her up with him.
That is a ride or die friend right there.
Yeah, really. I know.
All right, so
I know.
they're married?
They are married now. She kept their entire relationship a secret until she just texted me a picture of her wedding band and told me that she got married. And she hadn't even mentioned at first that he was in prison. So just the fact that she got married and I didn't even know that she was in a relationship was shocking. And then she told me that he also was in prison. And it's just snowballed for there because there are a lot of other just terrible details.
I'm going to have a job forever because people keep making choices like this. Good gosh.
So he was sentenced to life in prison for first-degree murder, which he confessed to during the second trial. The first time the jury found him guilty, that was dismissed. And then the second time, instead of going to trial again, he chose to confess and take a plea deal. And this is also the second time he has served a sentence prison. And his first sentence was for attempted first-degree murder. And, of course, he says that he's innocent. My sister believes that twice, almost back-to-back, has been wrongfully convicted. And
as all new wives believe.
I know. And she just cannot be persuaded otherwise. And so anyway, he's up for parole soon. And
there's no chance.
That's what I thought,
there's
too.
No
but
chance.
She's adamant that she thinks that he has a chance. And
Gail, so hold on. Has she ever been right?
Very true.
She's never been right. Since you've known her, she hasn't been right.
Right.
About anything.
Yeah. That's part of the problem, honestly.
If he's doing a life sentence for murder one on the back end of another sentence for attempted murder one, he's not going to get paroled unless he's in California.
Right. Yeah. That's my thoughts too. And of course, she's adamant that she says, his lawyer has new information or whatever.
He sure does.
Which is what I tell her. I said, I'm sure he's telling you that, but I just don't think that that's true.
Well, I've seen Matlock enough to know that probably not. All right, so let's pretend, though, he gets out on parole.
Right. Yes, exactly. So that's the conversation. I guess right now it's easy to just kind of pretend like it's not happening.
No. Your sister's pretending. You can live in real world.
Yeah. But at least for us, the main issue is, my husband and I, we have 3 really young children. They're all under 5, and they all love my sister so much. And we see her a lot, and we talk to her a lot. They have no idea, of course, that any of this is going on. But if he gets out of prison and they are living their life together, I feel like we're gonna have a conversation to say, like, we don't want him in our lives or around the children, at the very least.
Why? Because of a little murder? Jeez.
Yeah, Gail. Really.
I actually, I don't think that's the actual issue.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I think the actual issue is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
I think the actual issue is they don't know her. They love the whirling dervish that is their aunt that sweeps into their life and buys them a bunch of cool stuff and acts all bananas, and they think it's hilarious and fun, and then you and husband have to keep the rules. And then she wisps away, and the excitement for a kid. What'd you say? 5, 4, and 3, or something like that.
They're like 5, 3, and 7 months.
Good God, your house, by the way. Jeez.
I know. It is crazy.
So you have multiple live chainsaws going in your living room right at any given moment. So they love and then it's like a roller coaster. It's fun.
Yeah.
You can't live there. I think the bigger issue here is very soon they'll begin to know her.
Yes, exactly.
And you're gonna
I totally agree.
You're going to have this confrontation. The guy's not getting out of jail. He's just not. But you're going to have this conversation when it turns into, hey, I want the kids to come stay with me for a month. Or why don't y'all go out of town and I'll come stay with them? And you're like, yeah, no. I think that's the confrontation that's coming.
That's true. That's very true. And my husband kind of thinks more that way too, because it's like if she's making these type of judgment calls in this area of her life, what other type of judgment calls? We already we've never let the kids stay alone with her. Just before this has happened, she just hasn't made the best judgment calls,
Right.
So yeah, that actually does come up a lot where she even like on Valentine's Day, she said, why don't you guys go out and I'll watch the kids? And I was like, we're just going to take the kids with us.
Yeah. We want tonight to be extra hot, so we're taking all three of them.
Yes, because I just, I have been just avoiding having a difficult conversation. So I always just come up with excuses like that. Like, we're just going to take the kids with us,
And so can I say this? My guess is, and this is the compassionate side of me, your sister's had a rough go of it, hasn't she?
She has. Yeah, we had a rough childhood, and then she has had a rough. Became a mom. She was a teen mom, and she's always been a single mom, and she's had her struggles.
So she's had her struggles. I can guarantee you, she can feel it a mile away when someone's not being honest with her.
Yeah, that's true.
And my guess, tell me if I'm wrong. I could be way out to lunch here. She does not handle direct, honest interactions very well, does she?
Yeah, no, she doesn't, because she thinks that she specifically, we are Christians and my sister is not, and she specifically says that I'm judgmental and I think I'm holier than thou, and it just always, anytime I say anything to question her decisions, which she has previously made a lot of bad decisions. It just turns into a fight about that,
Yeah. Yelling at somebody and calling them judgmental when they're putting up a boundary or they're calling out unsafe actions, right? Mm-hmm. When somebody says, and so forget the right or wrong, right? Forget that.
Right.
She probably makes choices. I'm just going to guess, go out on a limb here, like marrying a murderer. She makes choices that are inherently unsafe, right?
Yeah.
And when you say something, it's easy to defend herself by just calling you the bad guy.
Yes.
So I don't blame her for that. I get it. I understand it. It's hard. It's hard to hear someone who loves you saying, "Hey, if you drink like that, or you snort that, or you sleep with that, you're gonna have problems, right?" It's easy just to throw grenades. So I think for you, the hard part is, I love my sister, and I have a duty to my kids.
Yeah.
I love my sister, and I have a responsibility towards my marriage.
Yeah.
And those may not intermingle much.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's very much true. And I don't know if maybe it just feels like it's coming to a head because this situation is just very acute, I guess, but it's kind of just an overall problem, you know, with our relationship with her.
At some point, you're going to have to sit down and have the hard conversation, and it's going to be best. I like the way my friend Jefferson Fisher frames it. You have to have a goal for the conversation. And
that's
if your goal is, I need to say all the things I need to say, you're going to leave in completely disconnected.
Okay.
So I want you to spend some time actually deciding, what is the goal of this confrontation I need to have? If it is to say, I'm never going to leave my kids with you, I just struggle to trust you. You just married a murderer. I struggle to trust you, and I struggle to trust you with the safety of our kids. I do love you around them, but we're going to be there.
Right.
And dude, the whirling dervish of middle fingers and the way she'll talk about you and how dare you and who do you think you are. I mean, you can stand in the middle of that storm because you're anchored into reality.
Yeah.
But you got to ask yourself, what's the point of the conversation? Is it to give her a lifeline? Hey, when this thing burns to the ground, we'll still be here. I mean, you got to ask yourself what that goal is. If you go into the confrontation without a goal, no one's gonna be happy because you're gonna start searching for a feeling. Yeah, and you'll never get that. You'll never get that feeling.
Yeah. I think right now where her feelings are so strong about the situation with her husband, I feel like everything always circles back to that. And so I would think if I had a conversation try to keep it broad and general, that it would circle back to that. And then I feel like it would almost be like she would give me an ultimatum,
she gets to do that. She gets to do that.
Yeah. I'm just afraid that she will just be like, I don't know, no contact. Like she will just say, well, if you don't want him, then you don't get me or
So what's your
my niece or
alternative
daughter.
to put your kids in an unsafe situation?
That's true. There's no solution.
No.
There
I mean,
isn't.
there is a solution, but you want to have it all, and you can't.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to have a sister who's clearly been struggling for a long time, who just made a wild life decision, not hate you or not cut you off, because you probably feel like you're the only light in her life. And your kids are the only light in their life. And you see your kids dying laughing when she's around, because she's probably pretty remarkable with your kids.
Yeah. They really love her so much.
Yeah, she's chaos and fun, and she's exactly what an aunt should be, right?
Yeah.
My sister goes by the name Tia Loca. I don't even know if my kids know. They do know her name, but they've never called her that. But she also is like super responsible, and she's a funny, hilarious, like everything's on fire when she comes in the house, which is exactly what you want with an aunt, right? That's what you want.
Yeah.
And also, she's not married to a murderer.
Yeah. That's very true.
You know what I mean? So
like you said, right now they just see her as the fun aunt, but especially my 5-year-old in a couple of years, she's gonna, really just, I don't know, she's gonna learn more about her than just like, the fun side.
Well, she'll learn like when I'm coming for your birthday, and she doesn't show up. Or I'm going to be there, and she doesn't show up. That's when they'll begin to learn.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to sit in the heartbreak that all parents have to sit in with their kids when they learn that not everybody tells the truth. Not everybody has some people have struggles, and it's heartbreaking.
Right. My sister, she has always shown up. I think it's a matter of like if we like would allow her to show up, depending on what state she's in. Yeah. So I think I worry too that it's going to come back that like the kids are going to maybe be resentful of us if it becomes a no contact situation, even though it wasn't like we made it that way.
Yeah, I would just tell you, who cares?
Yeah, that's true.
My kids get resentful, especially my younger one, when I turn the TV off.
Yeah.
My younger one gets resentful when I don't let them eat ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of what they do because they're kids. They don't get a vote.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then when they get older, they're going to be really grateful that mom and dad stood in the gap when they were children and kept them safe to the best of their abilities. And I mean, just imagine the alternative, the other conversation.
Exactly.
Hey, Mom, why did you keep letting Aunt so-and-so come over when you knew she was going to sneak alcohol in here and she was going to leave us with murder boyfriend or murder husband?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you've got to let go, and it's going to be hard. Let go your responsibility for keeping your sister in check or in line. And you're going to have to recognize, I can't keep her in check and in line. No matter how much I love her, how much I try to coach her, no matter how much I try to, quote unquote, model the right, like a peaceful way of doing life, she's going to go marry a murderer. She's going to go do her thing. And let's say the 0.0001% chance this guy gets out on parole. Good, great, grand. He's not coming around my kids. And by the way, I've met people who got out on parole. They're almost always super clear-eyed. Like, yeah, of course, I understand that you want some space between me and your kids. That's not a problem. I'm not going to come over for Thanksgiving. I get it. I totally get it. And I want to honor the temperature of your household. I'm not going to show up there. So, I would love her the best I can. And when you think confrontation is coming, then be super clear and have a goal for the meeting. But I think before any of that goes on, you need to exhale and just be sad for a little bit, because I wish everyone could have an aunt like my sister. Everyone, I wish. And you don't have that. I'm sorry. That breaks my heart for you.